How's it going, everybody? I got an issue of Muscle and Fitness here. It's Francis Benfato on the cover. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Francis Benfato. It's from June 1995. $3.99 in the USA. Man, yeah, those are definitely old prices. Do it. Be your best this summer. Our 6-week cross-training guide shows you how. Sculpt muscular abs. Oh, that reminds me. I swear, man, the propaganda and the BS has just gone from magazines to the internet to YouTube. Because I swear, man, there's a lot of bullshitters on YouTube, man, in the fitness industry or on the fitness side of things. There's a lot of BS information on YouTube. I saw a thumbnail in my feed the other day. Oh, it's cool. Super Mega Mass, Big Lou. I saw a thumbnail in my feed the other day. I didn't click on the video because I refuse to look at that bullshit. But it talked about getting abs or a six-pack abdominals in 60 days, as explained by science. And it got 6 million fucking views, man. 6 million views. And I thought, people are so stupid. I mean, the guy is bullshitting you. All right, now, or either that or he's not telling the whole story. Now, the truth is, here's the real truth. If you have the genetics for abdominals, and what that means is a high percentage of fast twitch muscle fibers, and a long, full muscle belly. That's actually even more important, is a long, full muscle belly. If you have a long, full muscle belly, sure, you can get abdominals in 60 days. Hell, you can get a visible abdominals in 30 days. If you have the genetics, I mean, they may just be there. You know, if you have the genetics, you could sit on your ass and eat bonbons and ice cream all day. And there are people who don't do anything and have visible abdominals. All right. So, yeah, if you have the genetics, sure, it's very possible. But if you don't have the genetics, you could take fucking 60 years and you won't have them. You know, and if you do get anything, I mean, they'll be barely visible. You know, and as I've said before, I'm a part of this industry legitimately. I'm not just some YouTuber. I work in this industry. And I've seen people get liposuction, clients, not necessarily my clients, but, guys that go to the gym and train with other trainers. Those results weren't coming fast enough, so they'd get liposuction. And yeah, all the fat would be gone, but you still see no abdominal development. And the reason is because the guy had a short, thin muscle belly. You just didn't have that long, full muscle belly that is required to have beautiful abdominals. And muscle bellies vary in length and they vary in roundness. Some people have round muscle bellies like Phil Heath. If you know Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia, has some of the roundest muscle bellies, man, I've ever seen. That's one of the aspects that sets his physique off. But if you don't have round, full, or long muscle bellies, it is what it is. So no, you cannot get abs in 60 days, as explained by science, as it said. And 6 million views. And people are so gullible, man. You make a boatload of money for 6 million views. You make a considerable chunk of change. But to get that many views, you usually have to lie. If you look on, go to do a search for fitness videos on YouTube, and a lot of the most popular videos are lies, period. They're 100% unequivocal lies. You know, get massive biceps with these 4 exercises. Get massive biceps as explained by science. I mean, that's bullshit. I mean, and either that or again, they're just not telling the full story. If you have the genes for it, sure, you can get massive biceps. You have to have the genetics. If you don't have the genetics, it's not going to happen. So it just this magazine, just looking at the cover, you know, develop sculpted abs or whatever it said, sculpt muscular abs. You know, you can't guarantee that. You know, when people start guaranteeing or saying, "Hey, you can sculpt muscular abs," it's bullshit. You know, anytime you talk about development, visual, physical, muscular development, you have to add in that little. You have to add in the fact that, you know, the small print. You know, don't forget the small print. I mean, unless you want to BS people, but the small print is genetics matter. If you have the genetics, you can accomplish this. You know, if you don't have the genetics, what I'm proposing is bullshit. But they don't include the fine print. You know, so just be aware of these scams. You know, because I personally think the people that should be getting the most views are the people that tell the truth, like me. But, you know, hey, we all know that the truth usually doesn't sell. You know, people love to be lied to. It's just amazing to me. Put a mountain peak on your buys. Yeah. And you know, that's not true. You know, it's interesting reading. And again, I love these magazines, developing biceps peak. But that's genetic. You know, you can't. You know, Lee Haney, one of the greatest bodybuilders in the history of the sport. You know, he won the Olympia 8 times. And trust me, you know, Lee Haney wanted to have great bicep peaks. He even said in an interview that I saw, Frank Zane, he talked about Robbie Robinson and how he always wished that he had Robbie Robinson's bicep peaks. Well, hey, you know, Mr. Lee Haney, you're a world champion bodybuilder. Why don't you just develop them? Work on those bicep peaks. You think he didn't do that? You didn't think he didn't do all these movements that are supposed to make your bicep peaks higher? Of course he did. But, you know, he still had mediocre biceps. I mean, they were good enough. You know, they were good enough. He won the Olympia 8 times. I mean, you know, you probably aren't going to win the Olympia that many times if you have glaring weaknesses in your physique. So his biceps were good enough, but they weren't like Robbie Robinson's. They weren't like Arnold's. You know, Sean Ray had some of the greatest abdominals. You know, you don't hear people. There's Robbie Robinson right there. Look at those bicep peaks. Look at those peaks, man. This is what Lee Haney wanted. Look at how high those fucking bicep peaks are, man. It's ridiculous. But wasn't in the cards. He just didn't have the genetics. Sean Ray had some outrageous abdominals, and Ronnie Coleman didn't. You know, Ronnie Coleman's abs were average at best. I mean, they were good enough. I mean, he won the Olympia 8 times, but he certainly didn't have great abs. You think he didn't want abs like Sean Ray? Well, hey, you're a world champion bodybuilder. Why don't you just work on them, develop them? Well, it doesn't work that way. You know, you either have them or you don't. So, you know, I love, you know, the nostalgia of these magazines. You know, they're a lot of fun, and I'm glad I have them. But I really have an intense hatred for all the BS, because there's just so many lies. And I like, why can't the fitness industry focus on the truth, and the aspects that will positively affect everyone? Like, there are aspects of the fitness industry or strength training that will affect everyone. No, not everyone can have high bicep peaks, but everyone can have a strong core. Everybody can have the 12 best lower back exercises. And you know, I wonder well, it looks like they're talking about real information here, because initially, seeing this guy doing this pose, I thought they were talking about the Christmas tree. I thought they were talking about development, and strength training has come a long way, because all of this stuff is just really basic. I mean, this is like passe stuff. I mean, come on, everybody knows these. There's a lot more you can do than this, but, you know, and it's almost impossible to make it injury free. Look, Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates lights up his Christmas tree. Not only does a strong lower back look good on stage, it also helps prevent common lower back injuries and pain. That's true. But yeah, I went off on a tangent, but there are aspects of strength training that can affect people universally. Everyone can have hip and spinal mobility. Everyone can have a faster metabolism based on adding active muscle tissue to your body. Everyone can have improved posture. Everyone can have all of their energy systems work well, like aerobic glycosis, anaerobic glycosis, the creatine phosphate system, that's possible for everyone to have improved energy system performance, more flexibility, better quality of life, more functional strength. Everyone can have that, and it's just sad that the industry doesn't focus on that. They focus on like I said in several videos, they focus on what people want rather than what they need. And they're just trying to sell you what you want. And everybody wants to look good, but my advice is to just think about the aforementioned aspects: functional strength, faster metabolism, increased bone density, improved energy system performance, more hip and spinal mobility, more shoulder mobility. Focus on all of that. And if the end result happens to include a more physically appealing body, then that's fine. It's good. But you can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee the abs. It irritates me, man, because the guys like the YouTubers that tell the lies, about massive biceps and all that shit, they're screwing it up, they're screwing it up for legitimate fitness professionals, because a lot of these YouTubers haven't been to school for this. They don't have a certification or a degree in the field. And furthermore, if someone doesn't have a certification or a degree in the field, then you shouldn't be listening to them anyway, because they don't know shit. All right, like, you can go to school and you can get a degree in kinesiology. You can get a degree in exercise physiology. You can get a degree in sports medicine. You can get a degree in physical therapy. All right, those people know what they're talking about. You can't get a degree in bodybuilding, because bodybuilding isn't really a science. it's just something that everybody wants because they envy people who have that crazy little ability to grow muscle tissue. You know, I'm one of those guys. I grow easily, and I think that although it's helped me get clients, I think it's caused a lot of confusion over the years. And it kills people's focus. Because they think that I have some magic trick for being muscular, and I don't. It's just genetic, man. When I trained like a bodybuilder, I was more muscular. But now I don't. I'm still muscular, but there is no magic. It's genetics. Is that Sean Ray? I think this. Yeah, it looks like Sean Ray. It is genetic. And also, since I stopped training like a bodybuilder, my joints don't hurt. Yep. Thanks, Joe, for supporting the Arnold Classic for years. So, yeah, I saw that thumbnail the other day, and I was just like, man, I can't believe some of these YouTube videos. You guys are being lied to, and it just, God, I can't believe that. I guess people have no integrity, man. They'll just tell you whatever they need to get you to get paid. They don't mind lying. But they haven't. These guys, like I said, they haven't been to school. They don't have a degree. They don't have a national certification. They don't. Because if they did, they'd have more respect for the science of strength training. It's the people that don't really have any knowledge, any real knowledge, that constantly push muscular development to the forefront like that's all there is. They don't know shit. If they did, they'd have more respect for it. But they don't. They don't respect it. I have this book right here. Holy shit, I have this book. Joe Weider's Ultimate Bodybuilding. I probably have a couple of them. Hold on for a second. Voila. Joe Weider's Ultimate Bodybuilding. I read this book years ago and had to unlearn most of it. Although, I mean, like, you can use some of the techniques and tricks sparingly. In bodybuilding, techniques are a good accompaniment, like the burns or the partial reps. That's another name for them. They're good. Like I said, pre-exhaustion, post-exhaustion. You can use them, but I just don't think it should be the core of what you do. But I think I'm almost done. Once you get to the end, man, it's usually nothing but advertisements. But build legendary abs without sit-ups fast. See, that's bullshit. And no matter what you do, no matter with or without sit-ups, crunches, whatever you're doing, you can't guarantee that it's going to build legendary abs. You can't guarantee that. Yeah. But yeah, man, the propaganda has just gone from these magazines straight to the internet. You have these bullshit-ass clowns that are just continuing the scam, the hustle from years past. It's just, it hasn't changed. It's just changed form. Still the same, though. Just going from physical media to the internet. June 1995. Yep. This stuff has come a long way. But if you want the truth, you have to look for it. It's not going to be readily apparent because, you know, the truth is never popular. It never sells. People are idiots. All right. I'd like to thank you guys for watching another video from PLA Mind and Body Works. Please like if you liked it. Share, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back soon with more information and content on the fitness industry, personal training, and strength training in general. Thank you. Bye-bye.